This is Kelly from 1, 2 Plus Me and You, and today I am going to talk to you about drying your own herbs, and specifically we're going to be looking at the chive plant. You can buy chive at a local hardware store, gardening store, and it will multiply. It will multiply rapidly, and as you can see from this one plant, you get a lot of chives. What you want to do once you get it, of course, is take it home and plant it. And a lot of times when you get them, you'll get a little starter plant. The following year, it will be quite large. The year after that, then you'll need to break it up. I think I actually, from 2 chive plants, I now have 10 over the course of 2 years. So they grow very fast. They will start to turn green and come up in April, and you will have them. I mean, I live in the Midwest, and you'll have them until October. So you can harvest chives, fresh chives, all summer long. It's great. But I like to take some chives and fill up my chive shaker in our herb cabinet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some good looking dark green chives. The thicker the better. The thin ones are just fine. I usually leave those for my kids to pick because I like to eat them right out of the garden. And this is in my flower bed, so this is a plant you can easily plant anywhere. And they don't really need a whole lot of stuff. Your other plants could be needing water. This plant could survive the apocalypse. It's really a sturdy guy. You're going to want to cut them all the way down at the bottom, and I like to just take a bunch, grab a pair of scissors and cut at the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them in the house and dehydrate them. Next, you want to bring your chives inside, and you want to look through to see if you find any that are a bit yellow, like such, and these are dead. You're going to want to throw those out. Even maybe you have one that is kind of light all the way down. It should be really dark green on the edge and then kind of get lighter as it goes down, and that's just fine. And then also they're going to be quite long, so you'll want to take your scissors, and I would probably cut these in thirds. You're going to be putting them onto your dehydrator plate or tray, and it'll be a lot easier if they're shorter. They're going to get dried out, and you're going to end up kind of crumbling them up anyways in order to put them into your shaker, so it really doesn't matter. You don't want to cut these really teeny tiny to begin with, because then they'll fall through. It's good to keep them longer, but it just doesn't need to be this long. And this is the dehydrator that I'm going to be using. It says you can use it on anything from fruit to flowers, pet foods, all different kinds of things, meats. I really just use it on herbs and vegetables. Maybe the occasional fruit, but we really like to eat fresh fruit, so not as much. But this is great for your own herbs. We have our own herb garden with dill, parsley, cilantro, basil, and we make our own for the herb shakers in this dehydrator. It's also a lot better than using your stove, because the stove will heat up your whole house. And this is the end of July that I'm doing this, because we just ran out of chives and we need to make more for the dried shaker. So I would rather use the dehydrator, which won't be making any heat in my kitchen like the oven would. So this is a lot easier for me. And then also, if I want to use my oven later on, I don't have to worry about moving things around. You can use your oven to dehydrate herbs. You'll be using a really low setting, and again, you could look that up. You could look that up online. I'm just showing you a demo for how to use the dehydrator. There's no setting for this dehydrator. You just put them on the tray, and I'll show you. I already have some put on here. There's 4 trays in all, and you just put them on. You put the top on top of that, and then they have these clips for you to put on here so it doesn't move, and then you just turn it on. that's the sound it will make. It's kind of a loud sound, but again, it's a small price to pay for having a cool kitchen on a summer day. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these up in thirds, put them on this tray, then put it on top of the other trays, and then I'm going to turn it on. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the machine. It'll be warm on the top and sides, not to the point where you can't touch it or you have to wear gloves, but you know, you got to be careful. It's been on and running for about 2.5 hours to make all of the chives really kind of, I guess you could say crunchy. You want it to be the point where that if they were so hard that you could just snap them easily, that's what you want, because then you'll want to be able to chop these up and then get them into your herb shaker. As you can see, some of these aren't dry enough. It's really up to you if you want to turn it back on, or if you want to really see if you have enough to fill up your shaker. I am going to take all of these off, and what I'll be putting them into is a Ziploc bag. Now I have all of my dehydrated chives in a bag, and I just went with a portion bag. You know, you can use any kind of bag, you can use paper or whatever, and I just wanted it to be in a confined space. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip them. So you can see with 2 hands, I'm just really giving this a good squeeze all around and really breaking it apart. And when you look inside, you should see that it's all nice and flaky. And again, you're going to have some straggler pieces that are not so broken up. Again, you can chop those up with scissors, or you can just keep crunching. Maybe this one wasn't dry enough, and you can always pull pieces out that might not have worked. So but again, you want it to be nice and small so that way it'll fit through these holes. Here is the finished product. I have my chives dried, crunched up, and put into my shaker. Now it's ready for use.